Alright folks, in this video we're going to be breaking down exactly what the price of silver is doing today and why, what is affecting the price. It is Wednesday, June 12th. If you like silver, if you want to be updated on a daily basis, well, look no further because I do post daily videos, so make sure you click subscribe and click the bell so you're always up to date. Always notified. You cannot be blindly stacking. You cannot be blindly investing in today's day and age. Too much is happening that is affecting the markets. And if you guys wanted a safe, reliable, cheap place to purchase silver, well, look no further. Again, Miles Franklin is the best right now. We have kilo bars $1.79 over spot. Our 90% silver is marked down to $2.50 over spot. We have tons of different deals. Every Monday, new deals. So email me, slayer@milesfranklin.com, or call me 330-485-6172. So right now we have the daily forecast. Silver nears $29.50. All eyes on US CPI and Fed rate data. So silver price rises to $29.49 amid a weak US dollar and geopolitical tensions. Demand for silver as a safe haven asset increases due to the Gaza conflict. Traders await US inflation data and FOMC meeting for future rate cues. And that's going to be the common theme, is just kind of keeping an eye on the dollar and what's happening, with Gaza and the wars. And that's really right now the main factors affecting the price of silver, right? That is the immediate term stuff, the day-to-day, week-to-week stuff. For someone like myself that is looking at this from more of a bigger perspective, kind of stepping outside of the box, these types of things, it's just a lot of volatility, a lot of the noise, but I try to look at the bigger picture, the grand scheme of things, which is stepping back out from a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month perspective, more from a year-to-year perspective, if you see what I'm saying. So despite reduced bets for September Fed rate cut and a strong U.S. labor market, the silver price regained strength, turning bullish to around $29.44, reaching an intraday high of $29.49. The upward trend is attributed to a slight weakness in the U.S. dollar, which lost some gains recently due to cautious sentiment ahead of the latest U.S. consumer inflation figures and the Federal Open Market Committee, which is the FOMC, obviously, which is Wednesday, today. Additionally, escalating conflict and instability in the Gaza region have increased demand for safe haven assets, further supporting silver's price. This geopolitical tension is seen as a key factor in helping the silver price remain strong. So let's put two and two together. If we know that geopolitical tensions and political tensions and, I guess, uncertainty, right? Not even just political, but just economic uncertainty even. As things get crazier, as times get crazier, as people lose faith and lose trust in the system, especially moving towards the election, that benefits silver. And we know, I can guarantee from now to the election, things are only going to get much, much crazier, much worse, which is in return going to affect silver positively. The only way it would affect silver negatively is if things got better. But do you see the Middle East conflicts getting better? Do you think that by the election, everyone's just going to start loving Trump and loving Biden and everyone holds hands and sings Kumbaya? No, it's going to get worse. Wars aren't stopping anytime soon, which means that is bullish for silver. So even if you're someone that doesn't consider looking at this situation or that factor, whatever, it's very obvious that safe haven metals, things that people put their money into to preserve their wealth in times of economic uncertainty, are going to be the last things standing. And that's a guarantee at this point. That's not even a conspiracy or a myth. That's just a fact. That is a fact. And these things, these times, I feel like need to happen so we can move through them, because without it, we're just going to keep, pushing or polarizing ourselves. And that's why you need a polarizing figure, to run for president. So U.S. dollar strength and silver prices impact amid economic confidence. The U.S. dollar has been gaining momentum, driven by growing investor confidence in the economy. Expectations for a Federal Reserve interest rate cut in September have dwindled due to strong labor market conditions and persistent inflation, pushing the U.S. dollar to nearly one-month highs. Investors are now focused on the upcoming U.S. consumer inflation figures in the FOMC monetary policy decision. The Fed may consider a modest 25 basis point rate cut later in the year, possibly in November or December. The anticipated easing in the headline U.S. Consumer Price Index for May, coupled with persistent inflationary pressures from the core CPI, could influence the Fed's decision and impact silver's price. Traders are closely monitoring signals from the FOMC meeting to gauge future market movements. Then you have geopolitical unrest and silver prices impact amid Middle East conflict. Geopolitical tensions have escalated as Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad responded to an UN-backed ceasefire proposal through mediators in Qatar and Egypt amid ongoing conflict. The UNICEF reports significant damage in Gaza affecting homes, hospitals, and schools. Hezbollah has confirmed the death of a senior commander in an Israeli attack on Lebanon. Additionally, 6 people were killed in an Israeli military raid in the West Bank, with casualties in Gaza reaching 37,164 dead and 84,832 wounded. This geopolitical unrest in the Middle East elevates uncertainty, prompting investors to seek the safe haven assets like silver. Increased demand for silver, viewed as a stable asset during conflicts, could push prices higher. And that last paragraph breaks it down perfectly. Short-term forecast. Let's see what's going on with the short term. So silver's poised to remain bullish, driven by geopolitical tensions and a slightly weaker U.S. dollar. Key support at $29.13 and a resistance at $29.81 will determine its immediate trajectory. And by the way, if you're someone that's thinking about buying right now, I definitely would, and for a couple of different reasons. One is because you guys see what's happening. But there's something that I found out yesterday that's very alarming. So our new deals came out yesterday. We have kilo bars for $1.79 over spot. But we had a note that we are actually having trouble finding silver, which if we can't, then that means nobody else can, right? Because we are the top dogs in terms of sources. Like, Andy pulls off $55 million orders and pulls it off in 2 days. I don't know how much longer he could do something like that, but, if Andy can't find it, that means nobody can, right? We're going to be the last company standing in terms of, someone who can find silver. And if we are having a hard time, that speaks for itself. That is a big deal. I mean, and I have the privilege of being able to see from a business perspective. Usually I'm the consumer wondering if companies can't. But now I have the inside scoop because Andy's my friend and he runs one of the biggest precious metal companies that can source more silver than anyone. So if I'm having intel that we're getting down, we're getting to the bottom of the barrel, that's very important to take note of. And think about what companies are going to do when they get to the scraps. They're going to have to push prices higher, right? Because demand is high, but supply is low. Low supply, high demand does what? Pushes the price up. So, folks, I would be, I really would be thinking about, getting on the ball if you've been waiting or someone on the fence, because you don't want to miss the boat. And then I'm not saying, get it right now or you're going to miss out because silver about to hit to $100. I'm just saying that these companies are running out and they're on their last crumbs. And I can say that for a fact. I don't know if the price is going to skyrocket tomorrow, but I do know for a fact that the silver shortage isn't just from an industrial perspective. Now we're getting down to the investor perspective as well, and the investor side of things, which is, that would be the last to fall. Of course, you're going to have, like the U.S. Mint running out of Eagles in 2020 and having to worry about all that, but then you're going to see solar demand, and then you're going to see the COMEX, and then you're going to see a bleed down all the way to now affecting you and I. Everyone thought it would be backwards. They thought they couldn't go on a site and buy silver. No, of course you're still going to be able to. When I was talking about the silver shortage for the last 4 or 5 years, I was talking from a much broader perspective, but now we are getting down to you might not be able to go on a website and get, XYZ anymore. And a lot of these websites are sold out of 90% of their stuff, but we still have everything in stock. But I guess, I'm just warning you guys, So That just shocked me yesterday because I never thought, we would have that problem. But I guess you never assume it's going to be you until it happens to you, right? Just like with anything. But anyways, they're saying that the metal is positioned slightly above the pivotal point, which is crucial for today's trading dynamics. Resistance levels are mapped out at $29.81, $30.14, and $30.62, which could limit upward movements if tested. Conversely, support is established at $28.75, followed by lower thresholds at $28.37, $27.99. But anyways, I'm sure you guys don't care too much about this stuff, the technical interest, yada yada. I did want to show this though. This is interesting. I wasn't going to throw this in this video, but the video is still relatively short. So a solar panel website, solarquotes.com, they talk about solar, right? This guy has a shirt that says I heart solar. They talk about solar. This is not an investing platform. They're talking about EVs. They're talking about, solar panels and commercial solar, big solar, battery storage. But they posted an article yesterday, June 11th, talking about silver. It's titled Hi-Ho Silver in a Way. Remember, folks, these guys are not silver stackers. This is strictly a solar panel website. But even they are talking about silver being bullish. And they would know because they're the ones that need all the silver to make the solar panels. Silver's been experiencing quite a few moments in recent times with prices the highest they've been for years, and solar panel uptake is partly responsible. Sometimes referred to as poor man's gold, prices for silver yesterday were around $1.59 a gram, and they go by the gram, and that's because solar panels use silver in grams, not ounces. So it would make sense of why they're looking at this per gram, which is actually very interesting, though. I didn't read this article yet. I just read that at the same time you guys heard me say it, which is it's kind of funny that they look at it that way. You really can tell that these are not silver stackers if they're comparing silver's price to the gram instead of the ounce. That's how you know these guys are not in silver for the same reasons we are. So how is silver used in solar tech? It's mainly used for solar panels in a paste form from the front and the back of the cells, providing conductive layers. Silver is highly conductive metal, more so than gold or copper. Yeah, silver is the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity, electricity, and light sensitivity. It's used in solar panels by way of PV cells, photovoltaic cells. And yeah, that's what it is. I mean, copper is a close second in terms of electrical conductivity, but the quality is so poor, it would actually be more costly to use copper than silver, and that's why no one does. So how much silver is in a solar panel? It depends on the panel size, but 20 grams according to various sources. Yeah, 20 grams, but actually to make more effective solar panels, to make more effective EVs or BEVs, it's actually going to require more silver. And these companies aren't looking at trying to reduce the amount of silver, they're trying to boost the productivity, the efficiency. So if it takes more silver, but to make a more efficient, longer lasting solar panel, or if it takes more silver to make a higher efficient electric vehicle, they're going to do so. And that is actually what they've done. And there's these things called N-type solar cells. They use even more silver than the previous, or I guess the current solar panels. So expect the demand to grow even bigger in this sector. So they say that right now, if that's the case, there'll be 460 grams of silver in a 10 kilowatt solar array using 440 watt solar panels at $1.59 a gram. This works out to approximately $31.80 per panel. But this is also AUD, by the way, remember that. $731 or $731 for 10 kilowatts. Yada yada. So they say this seems incredibly high, and the proportion would be even higher at wholesale prices. And that's what I was telling these companies. I wasn't telling them specifically, but that's what I was saying about these companies. If they don't find a direct source, they are screwed. They are screwed. Perhaps 20 grams is a very old estimate, or applies some of the humongous utility scale modules being produced. So how much silver does the PV industry use? The solar sector alone is using 20% in the year 2023, but they're saying could use 85 to 98% by the year 2050, but divide that by a couple decades since, you also have the EV sector, you have a lot of different things, silver lithium ion batteries, 5G towers, everything and anything you could think of, including military as well. So, yeah, I thought this was some pretty interesting stuff. I still think that the silver shortage is way too far down the line for us to recover. You know, like here's another article, perfect example. Tossing old solar panels into landfills greener than recycling them. Wait, tossing old solar panels into landfill is greener than recycling them. That is crazy. Recycling is a good thing most of the time. Wait, they're seriously saying that it is better to throw solar panels away than recycle them, which recycling them would get all the silver out of them. Recycling versus miscycling. I don't want to go into this whole thing, but that is crazy though. That is crazy though. Silver. Yeah, see, they talk about all these things: glass, plastic, silicon, silver. There are small amounts of metal in a solar panel. Most valuable is silver, around 8 grams. 47 grams, 11.16 or 11.76 per panel. Thrown away in landfills, never be recycled. And that's proof even more that, you know, we are in a bad situation since they are purposely throwing away the solar panels. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe since I post daily videos. Thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.